Hello, I am here today with a special guest, Gordo. I'll throw it over to you to introduce yourself.
Hi, Ali. Yes, I'm Gordo. It's a little bit about me and why I'm here. I might start to share my core value with you. My core value is connection. I believe that all of us, all of humanity is connected. I believe we're all part of one bigger entity, body, whatever you want to call it. So I believe my purpose, my journey is to connect with people on a deep level, I guess. And it's interesting. Yesterday morning, Tuesday morning, because I'm part of BNI. But in my chapter on Tuesday morning, I was taking the education piece, and how I started that was because we were talking about what our why was. And I was sharing with one of the members beforehand. I hadn't intended to talk about this, but I was talking to one of the members before the meeting started, and she was commenting on, my energy and how I'm always, on top and feeling great. And I said, well, you know what? When I got up Tuesday morning, it was one of the very few mornings I have like this. It was 3 o'clock in the morning, which was my usual time to get up. And I wasn't feeling it on Tuesday morning. But I said to myself, I'm heading to BNI shortly. I'm going to be meeting 30 odd business people. And as the other thing's part of my core value with my connection to people, one thing I always want to do is when someone, if whoever it is during the day, whether someone I know, someone I don't know, and it doesn't always happen, but what I would love to have happen is someone meets me, they walk away feeling a little bit better than they did before they came to me. So I thought to myself at 3 o'clock in the morning on Tuesday, if I don't prepare myself, am I going to be able to do that when I get to the meeting on Tuesday morning? So I had that thought. I thought about what I believe my purpose and my core value is. So I went, no, come on. I headed right in here, actually. This is where I do my meditation in the morning. And at 3 o'clock in the morning, it's nice and dark. So I spent 45 minutes in here, just getting my mind right, getting focused. Then I went out and did my physical training. But yeah, so that's kind of what my daily thing is. I because I call myself the happiest man in the universe. And I want people, my desire is that everybody can believe that about themselves. And really it's just a choice to do that. Like, we don't always feel it, but we can change in a moment. We can change just by what we focus on. So and I guess that's taken me to what I'm doing today, which is, I'm, for want of a better term, I guess, a wellness coach. That's what I want to do, because I just want to help people feel better. That's what I want to do. That's me.
Which is a beautiful mission. Very beautiful. Now, I've actually been bragging about meeting you throughout my chapter, etc. I've just met the happiest man in the universe. Like, what an uplifting thing, to encourage people to be their best selves, and also to encourage raising the bar of standards, because why not dream big, and why not resonate at our best potential? So the service that you bring is definitely a gift to community. So thank you for what your contribution is. Now, just as part of this campaign, I'll just be asking a few quick questions, and you've kind of already touched on the first one, because one of my questions is, what's one mental health tactic that you yourself can share when it comes to, you might not wake up every single day and you're feeling jolly and you've got all this energy, etc. So you have already shared that a little bit about your morning routine. So what I've heard from you is 45-minute meditation. I've heard physical activity. So these are very important things. Is there another one that you would like to add?
Well, I think the other thing that's important is, so that's in the morning, but what helps also is at the end of each day, and and I can't say I do it every day, but I try to go, well, how did I go today? Because in my meditations, my meditations aren't meditations where you just sit there and fold your legs and close your eyes and go, that's not my meditation. My meditation is, trying not to think about the everyday mundane things, and those thoughts come in and then you just say put them away. But my meditation is about, having a vision for the future. Because if all we ever think about is the past, we'll just keep repeating the past. So it's habits. So my meditation is about breaking habits and breaking old thoughts and being very specific about, what I'd like to see happen in the future, and then bringing my mind back to those things. So at the end of the day, I'll say to myself, well, how did you go today? So if there's, and then think about that, it's down to little things like you think I'm a really nice person, and I really am, but I don't have very good patience in traffic. I'm not a road rager. I never get cranky at people. I never give them the, flip on the bird or do anything like that. But I can get very angry in myself in traffic. If someone does something silly, I say I don't get angry at them. I just get agitated about it. But that's something I've been working on now for a while, and I can say that most days now, when those sorts of things happen, rather than get cranky, I'll try it. If someone has done something wrong, I will try to give them a little wave to say, hey, guys, don't worry about it. Everything's cool. And the reason I did it is because I watch myself and I do stupid things in traffic. No, I don't mean to cut someone off, but I have cut people off before. So that person wasn't particularly doing something with me. Other things that can just be traffic where I want to get somewhere and it's going slow. So I always ask myself, how did you go with those little things that irritate you during the day, and reflect on it and go, okay, well, if today I wasn't as good as I really wanted to be, then I go, okay, you've got another chance tomorrow to do better than that. And then when I go to bed, I always tell myself, now when you get up in the morning, you need to say to yourself, doesn't matter how you feel, whatever, prepare yourself, because if you're not prepared for how you feel sometimes, then your body, the memory of those old habits just come, it's only one day, I'll sleep in today, I don't need to do that today. But then unfortunately one day will creep into 2 days, will creep into 3 days. So it's about, if I offer some advice, it's continue doing the preparation, even when you think you might not need to do it. Because some mornings you jump out of bed and you feel great, and you go, well, I can just jump in the day and don't have to worry about anything. And I feel really great. I don't need to do my meditation today. I feel awesome. I'm just going to go and be awesome. But by breaking that routine, the day's going to come where something happens. You'll wake up and if you fall back in the habit of the first thing you do is look at your phone. So I'll throw that one in. When you get up, don't do that. That's not the first thing you should do, because you never know what's going to be there. So don't look at social media. Don't do any about that. Get yourself right before you turn the TV on, before you and just know that you've got yourself in a good positive state to take on the day.
Yeah, for sure. I know I haven't known you for very well, but that is one thing I value about you, is you do the work, and you just mentioned you do it on the days when you feel good, but you also do it on the days that you do it on all days, if that makes sense, because we shouldn't just wait for the days where we're feeling unwell to practice these things.
No, exactly.
That's such valuable information. So you've definitely provided a wealth of insight there already. So moving on to the next question, what is one message of hope that you could share? We've all gone through all sorts of situations where we've had to practice our own tenacity, but you've learned some things now that are now contributing to your wellness journey. But just imagine, because working in schools through 2020 even to 2022 now, I will tell you that it has been devastating to see some of the young people, for example, that the mental health issues are skyrocketing, and they're experiencing some turmoils right now that they've never experienced before in their entire life, and it is scary, especially young brains. They're not fully developed yet, and it is literally a risk of their life. So for someone who has never experienced mental health issues before, but today all of a sudden they are experiencing an eye of a storm, what is a message of hope that you could impart for someone that may need to hear it today?
Message of hope would be that there's people out there to help. You're not on your own, and there's people there that will help you, will give you the tools and the strategies that you need. People need to understand that they have everything they need within them, but sometimes they need someone else to show them that. But once they do show that to them, like you just mentioned before, I'm still responsible to do the work. I have to do that work for me to maintain, my spirit and maintain, my energy. I still have to do it. You can't do that for me. You can show me, you can guide me. And the great thing is, I'm only doing what I do because other people have guided me to do what I'm actually doing. There's so many teachers out there. There's so many mentors out there. And it doesn't have to be in person, and in this day and age with YouTube and all those things, there's so much information it's just readily available. It's free to us. So if there's someone out there that's struggling, just search up someone like, Wayne Dyer's now passed away, but listen.
Wayne Dyer's great.
Just listen to some of their teachings. It's just amazing. He was a man that was just full of love. He just, he loved humanity, and he wanted to give us the tools that we needed. And I was listening to an interview just the other day, and he was talking about books that he wrote and so forth. And the interviewer said, well, the book's not going to, a book's not going to save somebody. He said, no, the book won't, but it'll give you tools. You then still have to do work, because I could just read the book and go, oh, well, that was great. You've got to do the work, but it's there for you. If you want to learn, it's there. And Dr. Joe Dispenza is another teacher that I love his work, and he's so focused on us. His teachings to get rid of the old habits that we have, because by the time we get to about 30 years old, we're just a series of automatic habits. We get up every morning, we do the same thing, we go to bed, we get up next morning, same side of bed, brush our teeth the same way, eat our breakfast, get in traffic, get annoyed, go to work, talk to the people at work about the guy that cut us off in traffic. And it's all he talks about, we have 60 to 70,000 thoughts a day, and 90% of them are the same as ones we had yesterday. So how are things going to change if that's what we do? But there's so much out there. You don't have to spend a lot of money we don't spend any money to get these teachings, to get people to help you through whatever you're going through. And the other thing I like what Dr. Joe talks about is, we've come to a point now with so much knowledge, but it's not just about knowing stuff. It's knowing how to do that stuff.
Yes.
So, it's, and yeah.
That's okay. How lucky are we that we are living in a day and age where so much information is made available through the internet,
Yeah, exactly. I heard him. I think it was he that said it. He said, with all information today, ignorance is really a choice, because we've got so much at our fingertips. If you're ignorant about something, it's just because you don't want to know about it. So if someone's out there and they want to know, reach out. It doesn't have to be personally to somebody, but just it's in our hands, in the palm of our hands. We can just Google something and say, how do I deal with this situation?
Yeah, for sure. And I liked what you touched on, which is it's not just about the information, but it's about transferring that knowledge into action or into practice.
Yeah.
Very powerful there. My final question to you is, why prevention? Because you're wellness focused, right? Not illness focused, which, to be honest, we need more of it, right? And that's my advocacy kind of shining in. But why do you believe prevention's important?
Well, it's not just important; it's everything, isn't it? Really, if take it away from mental health for a moment and just look at physical health to do an example. What's a better thing to try to heal somebody of diabetes and kidney disease, or teach them how to eat properly so their body stays healthy and they never have to go through all those things that come along with diabetes and we know some of that is people can't help it, but in other people it's the choices that they've made in their life by eating the wrong foods and not taking care of their body. So our mind is exactly the same. If we can take care of our minds, then prevention it just is better than trying to cure something.
For sure. And the mind is obviously connected to the body. So when we're taking care of our body, we're taking care of our mind. It's just, to me, it's actually absurd that we're not more savvy about the holistic approach. We are almost reflecting back on one of your previous points in terms of we actually know what to do. It's within our DNA. But then it's about practicing it, doing it, and consistency. So look,
that's a great word. Consistency is the key. Is to just keep doing, no matter how you wake up in the morning. Do the things, and it's not about, you can't say, I don't have time to do it. Everybody's got. If you schedule something, you can make the time to make all those things fit in.
Absolutely. And look, I was actually speaking this morning about 20% of the population of Australia have been diagnosed with mental illness.
Wow.
And a lot of us have been touched by it. There's something like 1 in 5 adult Australians will experience a mental illness annually. So we've all been touched by it, but, for various different reasons. And regardless of what stage of life you're in or what age or what your personal experience are, this keeping up the wellness practice is vital. But I have actually met some fantastic people contributing to community who have been diagnosed with a mental illness, for example, bipolar, who are doing the work. And they're doing the work, just like what you mentioned, the morning routines of what do I need to do to fuel my body through mindfulness practice, meditations, etc. And some of these people will be challenged a bit more from what the illness may bring, but that level of awareness is greater because they've been doing the work. So it's just, these are foundations that we all need to know, learn, and embody. So thank you for your contribution today to answer my questions and being part of the 100 stories. If anyone has related to anything that you've mentioned today, how can they get in touch?
Can I just share one more point before I do that?
Yeah, sure.
It's interesting that we would quite often do more for someone else that we'll do for ourselves. If we're committed to do something for someone else, be somewhere because someone else is going to be there, then we're more likely to turn up than if we just said, I'm going to go to such and such. And that's, I know what it's like with people that I train physically. If you can get a buddy with somebody and they go, Timmy's turning up tomorrow morning. I feel a bit tired now, but I told Timmy I'm going, so I have to go. You know, that's physical. It's going to be exactly the same. If on the mental side of stuff, if there's things you need to do, connect with someone that can be your mindfulness buddy, if you like, and decide what are those little things that you want to help each other with, and but make specific check-in points to go, well, I'm going to check in on Timmy and make sure he's okay. So if I'm going to check in if Timmy's okay, I've got to make sure I'm okay. I think it's something that's in us as human beings, that we will, it sounds strange because you hear there's a lot of, there's people out there that just, they're only concerned for themselves. But the thing is, if they commit to somebody else, they'll actually be more committed to doing that than if they committed the same thing for themselves. So I think that's and I use it a lot. I use it a lot just to keep me accountable.
And you are spot on. I have a few mindfulness buddies out there that are keeping me accountable too. Thank you for contributing that, because it's almost a full circle, starting this conversation with connection and ending this conversation with connection. We are only stronger together. It's a great point to end on. So how can people stay in touch with you?
They can email me if they wanted to contact me, and that's just hello at letter I, letter M, Gordo, not I am, it's I am, Gordo.com. So if someone wanted to reach out by email, my website is just I am, Gordo.com. So if they wanted to reach out there. And Instagram is Empowered by Gordo. And Facebook is just I am with a space Gordo. So lots of ways if they wanted to reach out. And
fantastic. And I'll make sure to include those links at the end of this post. So thank you so much for being part of the campaign, and I very much look forward to more stories as we continue going through.
Thank you.